if you think of it, നമ്മൾ പലപ്പോഴും if you go into a crowd, നമ്മൾ വിചാരിക്കും അവർ നോക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, ഇവർ നോക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ആരും നോക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവില്ല സത്യം പറഞ്ഞാൽ. They'll all be minding. People have to worry about themselves. Actually, എൻ്റെ ഒരു favorite quote ഉണ്ട് about this. It says, a body is a process, it's not a destination. See, നമ്മളൊക്കെ, including myself, at one point of time, we wanted to achieve that perfect body. And that's humanly impossible, in order to remove self-doubt. ആദ്യം തന്നെ
എല്ലാവരും നല്ല മൊഞ്ചനും മൊഞ്ചത്തിലായിട്ട് നടക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നവരാണ്. അതിനുവേണ്ടി നമ്മൾ അവിടെ നിന്നൊക്കെ കുറേ ടിപ്സും വീഡിയോസും കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ കണ്ടിട്ടും കേട്ടിട്ടൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടാവും. എന്നാൽ ഇന്നത്തെ എപ്പിസോഡിൽ ഞാൻ ശരിക്കും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എങ്ങനെ ഒരു നല്ല ബ്യൂട്ടിഫുൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള, ഒരു ഹാൻസം ആയിട്ടുള്ള, ഒരു ഗുഡ് ലുക്കിംഗ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരാളായിട്ട് മാറാം എന്നുള്ളതിനെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ളൊരു ഡീറ്റെയിൽഡ് ഡിസ്കഷനാണ് കൊണ്ടുവന്നിട്ടുള്ളത്. അതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഞാൻ ഒരു സ്പെഷ്യൽ റൈറ്റ് ഗസ്റ്റിനെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. മറ്റാരുമല്ല, നമ്മുടെ സ്വന്തം മിസ് കേരള ഗോപിക സുരേഷാണ്. ഗോപിക ഇസ് നോട്ട് ജസ്റ്റ് എ മിസ് കേരള, ഷീ ഈസ് ഓൾസോ എ സൈക്കോളജിസ്റ്റ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഇന്നത്തെ എപ്പിസോഡിൽ എന്തൊക്കെ കാര്യങ്ങളായിരിക്കും സംസാരിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നൊരു ചെറിയ ഗസ് ഉണ്ടാവും. സോ ഡീറ്റെയിൽ ആയിട്ട് പറയുകയാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇന്നത്തെ എപ്പിസോഡ് നമ്മൾ കുറേ കാര്യങ്ങൾ സംസാരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. എന്താണ് ബ്യൂട്ടി എന്നുള്ളത്, ഈ ബ്യൂട്ടി പേജൻസിൻ്റെയും മിസ് കേരള അതുപോലുള്ള കോമ്പറ്റീഷൻസൊക്കെ ഒരു മറ്റേ സൈഡ്, അതേപോലെ തന്നെ പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻ, ബോഡി ഷെയ്മിങ്, അങ്ങനെ പല കാര്യങ്ങളും സംസാരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. എസ്പെഷ്യലി എങ്ങനെ ഗുഡ് ലുക്കിംഗ് ആവാം, എങ്ങനെ നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ക്യാരക്ടർ പേഴ്സണാലിറ്റി എങ്ങനെ എലിവേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽ ആയിട്ട് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. സോ ദിസ് ഇസ് എപ്പിസോഡ് നമ്പർ 59 ഓഫ് ദ മല്ലു ഷോ വിത്ത് ഗോപിക സുരേഷ്. ഹാപ്പി ലിസ്ണിംഗ്, ഹാപ്പി ഗ്രോയിങ്.
Thank you so much for being here, first of all. And തുടങ്ങുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്, if I may ask a question to you, ഒരു 3 വാക്കിൽ if you were supposed to describe you, ആ 3 വാക്കുകൾ എന്തായിരിക്കും? How do you define you in 3 words?
Well, adventurous, open-minded, and a hard worker.
Okay, that's great. Like again, നമ്മളെപ്പോഴും ബീങ് മിസ് കേരള, അതായത് തന്നെ ഈ ബ്യൂട്ടി കോമ്പറ്റീഷൻസ് കാണുന്നതാണ് എപ്പോഴും ഇന്റലക്ച്വൽ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഇങ്ങനെ വന്നുകൊടുക്കും. ഞാൻ എപ്പോഴും ഇങ്ങനെ ക്യൂരിയസ് ആയിട്ടുണ്ട്, ലൈക്ക് വൈ ഈസ് ദാറ്റ്? നമ്മള് അൾട്ടിമേറ്റ്ലി നമ്മൾ ചിന്തിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് റാമ്പ് വാക്ക്, അതേപോലെ തന്നെ ചിന്തിക്കാറ് ലൈക്ക് മിസ് കേരള എപ്പിസോഡൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞ സമയത്ത് why is that, why always this questions come to judge a person during the competition? അതിന്റെ ഇതെന്താ?
Because see, ഞാനിപ്പോ മിസ് കേരള ആയാലും ഏതൊരു പാജന്റ് ആയാലും യു ആർ എ റെപ്രസെന്റേഷൻ ഫോർ ദാറ്റ് പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ഓർ ആ പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ കൺട്രീനായാലും യു ആർ എ റെപ്രസെന്റേഷൻ ഓഫ് ദ ബെസ്റ്റ് വേർഷൻ. സോ ഇൻ ഓർഡർ ടു ബി ദ ബെസ്റ്റ് റെപ്രസെന്റേഷൻ ഓഫ് എ പ്ലേസ്, exterior beauty is not enough. അത് മാത്രം ഉണ്ടായ പോരാ. സോ ഇപ്പം ഫോർ ഇൻസ്റ്റൻസ്, I have to deal with questions like this in front of a media. So as if I am not prepared enough to deal with such questions during my pageant journey, then they would not consider me qualified enough to be crowned as well. So being a beauty pageant winner, or even a beauty pageant contestant for that matter, it's more than just what meets the eye. ഇപ്പൊ റിസ്വാൻ കണ്ടിട്ടും ഉണ്ടാവും, പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ it's a lot of intellectual process behind the whole pageant as well. അപ്പം ഇൻഫാക്ട് ഞാൻ പറയുന്ന വെച്ചാല് ബ്യൂട്ടീനെ, എക്സ്റ്റീരിയർ ബ്യൂട്ടീനെ കാട്ടി അവർ ജഡ്ജ് ചെയ്ത കുറേം കൂടെ വാസ് ആർ ക്വസ്റ്റനിങ് സ്കിൽസ്, ആർ ആൻസറിങ് സ്കിൽസ്. ഓൾസോ മോർ ദൻ ദാറ്റ്, നമ്മൾ എങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു പേഴ്സണാലിറ്റി ആണെന്ന് ജഡ്ജ് ചെയ്യും. ബിക്കോസ് വാട്ട് ടോപ്സ് ഇറ്റ് ഓൾ ഓഫ് ഇസ് കൈൻഡ്നെസ്. എല്ലാത്തിന്റെയും മേലെ ഇറ്റ്സ് കൈൻഡ്നെസ്, ബീങ് എ കെയറിംഗ് പേഴ്സൺ ഓൾ ഇൻ ഓൾ. ആൻഡ് ഓഫ് കോഴ്സ് ഇന്റലിജൻസ് ഈസ് എ ഹ്യൂജ് ഫാക്ടർ. സോ why these questions, why is intelligence tested? Because it is a crucial part of it. Because if a beauty queen, she'll be incomplete if she is not intelligent, which is why it's tested.
I was like first of all, congratulations on being Miss Kerala 2021.
Thank you.
That's like a huge achievement. ഞാൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയിട്ട് ഞാനത് എടുത്തിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു വേറെ രീതിയിലാണ്. അതായത് നമ്മൾ എപ്പോഴും ബ്യൂട്ടി എന്ന് ചിന്തിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് we always think of it just external, but in the competition itself, other define ചെയ്യുന്ന രീതി വെച്ചാൽ it's not just external, it's also internal ഒരു സംഭവത്തിലേക്കാണ്. That's amazing. So ആ ഒരു കോണ്ടെക്സ്റ്റിൽ ഞാൻ ഒരു ചോദ്യം ചോദിക്കുകയാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ to start off, ഒരു ബീങ് എ മിസ് കേരള എന്നുള്ള സംഭവം, ബീങ് എ പേജന്റ്, crowning that thing, and how was the journey and what it took to be a Miss Kerala? How was the preparation, the behind the scenes and all that?
Even now, ipo almost 6 months since my crowning, so it's taking me back to that process. Last year I think I applied August la apply ചെയ്തത്, and covid ആയിട്ട് ഡിലേ ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു കുറച്ചൊക്കെ, and then we started off in November. So ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് ഇതൊരു പാജന്റ് ജേർണിയിൽ ടേക്ക് പാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. സോ I didn't know what it's going to hold. That's what excited me and frightened me at the same time. So അതിന് മുമ്പേ ആയിട്ട് prep ഒന്നും ഉണ്ടായിട്ടില്ല. Before the competition, I was just, if it's your appearance, I was just working out regularly, doing my regular thing, to be honest. But competition കേറി കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട്, നമ്മുടെ ചുറ്റുവട്ടം കാണുന്ന പെൺകുട്ടികൾ, they have years of experience. Some of them have no experience like me. So from day one, നമ്മുടെ ഉള്ളിൽ തന്നെ that spark will light up. Every girl wants to win. And every girl has the potential to win. So നമ്മൾ day one തന്നെ ഇപ്പം impresario തന്ന training ആയാലും, it's irrelevant of ഇപ്പം I'm a winner today, but I'm sure that അവിടെ ഉണ്ടായ എല്ലാ 31 പെൺകുട്ടികളും, they are not the same anymore. They have changed for a lifetime. That's the kind of training that pageants നമ്മൾ പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു ട്രെയിനിങ് ആണ്. And because that kind of a training is provided, you have to work equally hard. So എനിക്ക് ഇപ്പോഴും ഓർമ്മയുണ്ട്, we used to have 8 മണിക്കൂർ റാമ്പ് വാക്ക് സെഷൻസ് ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടാവും ഒരു ദിവസം. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് maybe 15 minutes break, and then we'll have another session, maybe question answer rounds ഒക്കെ ഉറക്കം തൂക്കും അത്രയും. we're almost in heels throughout the day, and എന്നെപ്പോലെ ആൾക്കത് ഭയങ്കര ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് ആയിരുന്നു, because I had no ramp experience. So I couldn't cut slack on myself as well. I had to practice. So എല്ലാം കൂടി നോക്കിയാല് in a day, maybe we might sleep at 11, 12 in the night, wake up at 5, call time was 5, we wake up, reach the place by 6, exercise. So it's very glamorous when you see from the outside, extremely glamorous, because even as contestants, nammal video edukkanum, photo okay, it's going on throughout the whole process. You have to keep smiling. You can't look very dull and tired. That's you're supposed to keep smiling and look like you're enjoying the process. And that's what I expected as well. I didn't know it's going to be so rigorous, but it's changed me forever.
Like obviously ഈ കാണുമ്പം മിസ് കേരള ലൈക്ക് എല്ലാ ആൾക്കാരും ലൈക്ക് ഡ്രസ്ഡ് അപ്പ് ആണ്, വെരി ഗ്ലാമറസ് ഇവന്റ്സ് ആൻഡ് ഓൾ ദാറ്റ്. പക്ഷേ അതിന്റെ ബാക്കിൽ there is a huge
ഒരുപാട്, yes, ഒരുപാട്. And നമ്മൾ ആ സിറ്റുവേഷനിൽ, I'll be honest, ഇപ്പം before 6 months I didn't know, എനിക്ക് അറിയത്തില്ല ഇത് ഇത്രയും ഉണ്ടാവുമെന്ന്. I didn't know, because അവിടെ വരുന്ന ഓരോ പെൺകുട്ടിയും, she wants to win. She's come with that kind of a mindset. So to stand apart, നമ്മള് പെർഫോമൻസ് മാത്രം ചെയ്താൽ പോലെ, you need a lot of strategizing. So every day you kind of reflect, where could I have done better? Because, if you think of it, they don't just judge you. Our stage lo nammal perform cheyna maatralla avaru judge cheya. They judge everything that you showcase for the past 7 days. Appo if we don't strategize our game, to be honest, then it's not going to impress them, So mentally physically exhausting aayirunnu, but it was so worth it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Congrats after there is a silver lining into the lorry there. It's amazing to hear that. So but again, on the other side, flip side, നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഈ ബ്യൂട്ടി എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്ന സമയത്ത്, especially right now, and ഞാൻ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് ഗോപികന്റെ സ്റ്റോറീസിലായാലും or even for post, people, whatever you have set the standard, there is always നമ്മുടെ ബോഡിനെ കുറിച്ച് സംസാരിക്കാനും, അതേപോലെ തന്നെ when we talk about body shaming എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഒരുപാട് ആൾക്കാർ പല രീതിയിലും കമന്റ് ചെയ്യാനും കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ വരാറുണ്ട്. So obviously, first thing, എത്രത്തോളം നമ്മള് even we are competing in a beauty pageant or something, നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടേതായ ഒരു ഡിസ്കംഫർട്ട് വിത്ത് our body or some doubts ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടാവാറുണ്ട്. So how do you handle, എന്താ പറയാ, how do you build confidence about your body, first thing? മറ്റൊരു കാര്യം വെച്ചാൽ body shaming, how do you handle that?
Right. To answer that, Rizwan, actually എൻ്റെ ഒരു favorite quote ഉണ്ട് about this. It says a body is a process, it's not a destination. And it's what അതിന്റെ അർത്ഥം എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, see, നമ്മളൊക്കെ, including myself, at one point of time we wanted to achieve that perfect body, and that's humanly impossible. നമ്മൾ എത്രയൊക്കെ we work harder, even if it is our work, we as human beings, we're always going to find faults, try to perform better in certain ways. So I think body shaming is very much relevant in this age, because if social media also, there's a boost, so we're exposed to so much of content. Whether it's a celebrity, whether it's a person who's a non-celebrity, whether it's a little girl, social media tornal, we'll have several pages that kind of ingathoru thought facilitate cheyanalla pages aanu. So it's honestly very saddening, because if I think from a psychologist point of view as well, ഞാനിപ്പോ കാണുന്ന cases ഒരുപാട്, not even teenagers, pre-teens, 12 വയസ്സ്, 11 years old, because they're on social media, they've started getting that mentality that I am not good enough, and sometimes it's really sad, because ഈ ചില പെൺകുട്ടികൾ മാത്രമല്ല, ആൺകുട്ടിലായാലും, whatever they're good at, they're not able to achieve it because they are conscious of their body. And ഞാൻ ഇതിനെപ്പറ്റി സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോൾ people have asked me this earlier as well. The first thing that I say is that, choose, we can't avoid social media because it's literally everywhere, so you can't completely avoid it. But choose what you watch on social media. And ഇതിൽ ഞാനും തീരെ നാണക്കെടുക്കാറില്ല, because if I feel like something is damaging my mental health or my perception of my body, I will unfollow them. It's as simple as that. If you open social media and the first post that you see is making you feel terrible for the entire day, please unfollow that person or that page. Because, and ഞാനിത് പറയുമ്പം several girls and boys feel bad, like, how do I do that? They're my friends, or I have an obligation to follow them. Don't feel ashamed. You prioritize yourself first. Unfollow them. Second thing is, I feel, even I'm sure even Rizwan, you've also faced it. We tend to not segregate between self and our worth, like our body, our appearance, and our worth. അത് ചെറുപ്പകാലം മുതലേ അങ്ങനെയാണ്. People always gave us worth for what they could see.
Yeah.
It was not what they couldn't see. So please don't give yourself worth based off what you look like. It's never limited to that. അതിനേക്കാളും ഉപരിയാണ് you're somebody's worth. That's one thing that I keep telling people when they talk about body shaming. Yeah.
That's beautiful, and also Gopika is a psychologist too, right? So in that context, again, obviously, I'm not saying like being a psychologist, it's like always having a perfect midstakar, but definitely, there comes the self-doubt and lack of confidence about so many things, right? So our context, എങ്ങനെയാണ് ലൈക്ക് പേഴ്സണലി, നോട്ട് ജനറലൈസിങ്, കാരണം വെച്ചാൽ ഓരോ ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ഓരോതായ ഡിഫറെന്റ് കോണ്ടെക്സ്റ്റും കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്. സോ ജനറലി പേഴ്സണലി ഗോപിക എങ്ങനെയാണ്, ഹൗ ഡു യു വർക്ക് ഓൺ യുവർ സെൽഫ് ഡൗട്ട് ആൻഡ് ബീങ് കോൺഫിഡന്റ്?
Okay. Well, see, first of all, നമുക്കൊരു സെൽഫ് അവയർനെസ് ഉണ്ടാവണം. You should, in order to be confident, I think that everybody should know അവരവരുടെ സ്ട്രെങ്സും വീക്ക്നെസ്സും എന്താണെന്ന് അറിയണം. പിന്നെ മാത്രം ഒരാൾക്ക്, if somebody says, I'm not aware of myself, then I don't think they can be confident. Because ഇപ്പം ഞാൻ ഒരു വ്യക്തിയാണ്, I know my strengths and that keeps changing, but because I know my strengths, I'm able to work on them. So that is making me confident because I'm able to establish myself. So the first thing I feel is that before social media body shaming, before eating healthy, first try to understand yourself. എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു മിക്ക സമയത്തും we associate confidence with appearance. ഞാനായാലും കൂടി at one point in time I used to work out, I used to eat healthy, but then I kind of lost myself in the process. And in that sense, confidence and self-doubt will remain even if you look perfect. എന്നാലും you will still doubt yourself. We won't be able to reach our ultimate abilities in that sense. So I feel that in order to remove self-doubt, ആദ്യം തന്നെ സ്വന്തം കുറച്ചും കൂടി dig deep എന്ന് ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കുക. Try to understand where your thoughts are coming from. From a psychologist's point of view, I know I might be moving that side, but see, try to understand yourself in a better sense. Then you can work on it. That's what I feel.
Yeah, satyana, like also ഞാനും, as I said, നമ്മുടെ strengths just നമ്മൾ ഇങ്ങനെ കണ്ടെത്തിക്കൊണ്ടേയിരിക്കുമല്ലോ. ലൈക്ക് it changes. നമ്മൾ ഒരു സമയത്ത് ഇതാണ് what I put it, then we think okay, this is what I put it, and that changes ultimately. But also initially, actually,
Rizwan, I think that നമ്മള്, including myself, ചെറുപ്പത്തിൽ we used to depend on others for finding our strengths. Parents ആണ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കേണ്ടത്, ഈ കുട്ടിക്ക് ഇത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ഒരു വയസ്സ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ you can do that yourself and you must. That is what will make you confident at the end of the day. You're responsible for yourself.
Yeah, satyana to, like because I was also someone, ഞാൻ ഒരു ഫേസിൽ just to be precise, ഒരു 2 വർഷം മുന്നേ till the last 2 years ഞാനും എന്റെ അപ്പിയറൻസ് കാരണം ഇൻസെക്യൂരിറ്റി കുറെ ഫേസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള ഒരാളാണ്. സോ അതിനുശേഷം ഈവൻ ഡ്യൂറിങ് ദാറ്റ് ഫേസ് ഒരു പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസിലൂടെ when I was just putting myself outside my comfort zone to basically understand about that, അപ്പോഴാണ് ഞാൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കി okay, that doesn't really make a lot of difference in other people's life. Just ഇത് എന്റെ ഒരു പെർസെപ്ഷൻ മാത്രമാണ് about like this is a problem with someone.
If you think of it, നമ്മൾ പലപ്പോഴും if you go into a crowd, നമ്മൾ വിചാരിക്കും അവർ നോക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, ഇവർ നോക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ആരും നോക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവില്ല. സത്യം പറഞ്ഞാൽ they'll all be minding. People have to worry about themselves. There's barely people. നമ്മളെ നോക്കുന്ന ആൾക്കാർ ഭയങ്കര കുറവായിരിക്കും സത്യം പറഞ്ഞാൽ. So just don't be scared of anything. Try to be as brave as possible and face the situation confidently.
Yeah. So നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു to be more aware of something.
Right.
So, in the context of being a psychologist, right? How, suppose, let's say, how can I be more aware of myself? What are the different techniques that I can practice?
One very simple thing you can do is ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ പണ്ടൊക്കെ ഡയറി റൈറ്റിംഗ് പറയില്ല, ഓർമ്മയുണ്ടോ റിസ്വാൻ? നമ്മൾ സ്കൂളിലൊക്കെ ഡയറി റൈറ്റിംഗ്, ഐം ഷുവർ എന്റെ ക്ലാസ്സിലൊക്കെ 3ാം ക്ലാസ്സിൽ ലാസ്റ്റ് കീപ്പ് ഡയറി. അപ്പൊ സത്യം പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാൻ ഒരു ദിവസം പോലും എഴുതിയിട്ടുണ്ടായിട്ടില്ല കേട്ടോ. അവസാനത്തെ ദിവസം ഞാനൊരു 10 പേജ് എഴുതിയിട്ട് സബ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചു എങ്ങനെയോ. പക്ഷെ ഇറ്റ്സ് ജേർണലിംഗ്, in a therapeutic sense, it's journaling. And it's a little bit different from diary writing, because diary writing നമ്മൾ ഒരാളെ we're speaking to someone. In journaling you are literally speaking to yourself, and you're just writing on daily basis. ഒരു ബുക്ക് ക്യാരി ചെയ്യുക, whether it's in the morning അല്ലെങ്കിൽ രാത്രി ആണെങ്കിലും, jot down maybe 2 to 3 points about how you're feeling that day. Because എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത് the self awareness, ഇപ്പൊ ഞാനായാലും കൂടി, all of us are leading very busy lives. And പലപ്പോഴും എനിക്ക് maybe I felt angry 2 days back, but if you ask me now, I don't recollect my exact emotion. നമ്മൾ ഇമോഷൻസിനെ പറ്റി അത്ര അവെയർ അല്ല now, because we are so busy. So maybe you can just jot down at the end of the day, this made me feel this way, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇത് കാരണം എനിക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ തോന്നി. Could be anything. Can be about anyone. സ്വന്തം കാര്യം പറ്റിയായിരിക്കും. Could be anything. That is a huge way of being aware of oneself. And it's a beautiful thing, because we've worked with several clients, and ഒരു വർഷമൊക്കെ തെറപ്പി എടുത്ത ആൾക്കാരുണ്ട്, and they do journaling every day. And when they come out more successful, we give them a chance to read the whole thing and to see the progress. It's just beautiful. That is where the person itself, നമ്മൾ ഒന്നും പറയേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല, the person itself feels like, I have achieved something.
Yeah. So എനിക്ക് ഭയങ്കര റിലേറ്റഡ്. I used to carry a diary when I was in 10th standard. Okay, so 10th standard ഒരു ദിവസം ഇടാണ്ട് I have written a diary till എവിടെ വരെ അറിയോ, till the last day, last exam വരെക്കും. എന്നിട്ട് recently I found that diary. ഞാൻ ക്ലീൻ ചെയ്യായിരുന്നു. Yeah, and I was reading through that, and I had a great time reading that. I know. It was so funny and so weird, and every emotion was there.
അതെ,
ഒരു ചെറിയ സമയത്ത് നമ്മൾ എഴുതിയിരിക്കാം, അതായിരുന്നു, അതായിരുന്നു, ഇതിനായിരുന്നു, സിംപ്ലസ്റ്റ് ഡീറ്റെയിൽ. ഐ ജസ്റ്റ് റീലീവ് ദാറ്റ്. ദാറ്റ് വാസ് സോ അമേസിംഗ്. ഐ ഫെൽറ്റ് റിയലി ഗുഡ്. സോ ആ ഒരു ഇതിന് ഒബ്വിയസ്ലി നമ്മള് there is a certain beauty standards that we have set, right? Obviously for men, like ഇന്ന ഏജിൽ ഇന്നതാണ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇന്നൊരു കൺട്രിയിൽ ഇന്നൊരു സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ്, we all have the standards. So definitely നമ്മള് എന്നും ഓടിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത് ടു ലേറ്റസ്റ്റ് ട്രെൻഡ്സ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഒരു കൾച്ചർ, അതിലേക്കാണ് ഓടിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്, സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡിലേക്ക്. ആൻഡ് ഓൾസോ ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി കോമ്പറ്റീഷനിലോട്ട് വരുന്ന സമയത്തും, ആസ് യു സെഡ്, ഡിഫറെന്റ് സ്ട്രാറ്റജീസ് നമ്മൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടാവും. സോ ബട്ട് അഗെയിൻ ഒരു കൾച്ചർ, ട്രഡീഷൻ എന്നുള്ള സംഭവം കൂടെ നമ്മൾ ക്യാരി ചെയ്യേണ്ട സംഭവം ഉണ്ടാവും. സോ ഹൗ ഡു യു ബാലൻസ് ദിസ് കൾച്ചർ, ട്രഡീഷൻ, ബ്യൂട്ടി സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ്സ്, ആൻഡ് ഹൗ ഡു യു അൾട്ടിമേറ്റ്ലി ഡീൽ വിത്ത് ദിസ്? ഹൗ ഡു യു സെറ്റ് അപ്പാർട്ട് ഫ്രം ഓൾ ദാറ്റ് ആൻഡ് ക്രിയേറ്റ് യുവർ ഓൺ ഐഡന്റിറ്റി?
Okay, so ആദ്യം ഞാൻ സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോൾ culture and tradition and strategizing or whatever. Again, I think that as I started growing, I got a clearer idea about myself. എന്നെ പറ്റി തന്നെ എനിക്കൊരു ഐഡിയ മനസ്സിലാക്കി തുടങ്ങി. ചിലപ്പം when I was in 7th standard, I would follow what the popular girl did in class. അതന്നെ ചിലപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ഇട്ടുകൊണ്ട് വരുമായിരിക്കും അടുത്ത ദിവസം, the same clip, the same hairband. But as you grow up, naturally everyone gets a better sense of their self, and that should happen. So I think personally for me, it was not difficult to stick by my culture, at the same time be competitive. And speaking about Rizwan, what new beauty standards, I feel that, see, beauty, palappudum nammal beauty, everyone wants to be beautiful, everyone wants to be handsome, and beauty isn't a bad thing. Nammal ippam thodanghiya oru phenomenon and we're projecting beauty as a very terrible thing,
Yeah.
Nature is beauty. Everything is supposed to be beautiful, right? And the problem lies, see, personally as an individual, enakku valare ishtanu to dress up, to get ready, to wear different accessories and clothes and shoes. And I think the problem is not with beauty standards. The problem is with a lack of choice. And what I mean by that is, ippam ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു എനിക്ക് നല്ല ഇഷ്ടമാണ് ഇതൊക്കെ, to dress up and things. The point is that whether or not I feel beautiful when I'm wearing all that. Part 2, what if I don't feel the same way when I have nothing on? Do I feel ugly when I don't have anything on? So enakku thonnathu beauty standards are not the problem. The problem is that several women and men feel that there's a differentiation in choice over there. Some people may feel terrible when they don't have all of that on. അതാണ് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത്.
Okay, like being comfortable with oneself.
Yes. So see, I think നമ്മള് പലപ്പോഴും as humans we like blaming other things. So we say, beauty standards is pre-existing. They've done this to us. Beauty standards കാരണമാണ് I am insecure. But have you really taken that effort to make yourself more secure? ഞാൻ മുമ്പേ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ social media is booming at the moment. There's almost nothing that you can avoid. And granted that because of the social media and exposure and things, people are getting more insecure. But I don't think it's right to just blame beauty standards. Because ഇപ്പം ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ pageant industry തന്നെ നോക്കിയാൽ ഒരുപാട് it's transformed. ഞാനിപ്പം കേരളത്തിൽ തന്നെ when I was in Miss Kerala, there were girls, not all 25 hours looked the same. There were girls who were tall, there were girls who were shorter, there were girls who were a little bit more tanned, a little bit more fairer. നമ്മളിപ്പം വേൾഡ് പെർസ്പെക്ടീവ് തന്നെ നോക്കിയാൽ Miss World and Miss Universe, they don't look the same anymore. അപ്പം I don't think the world is changing. The world of fashion, pageantry, എന്തായാലും മാറുന്നുണ്ട്. And as per beauty standards, ഇപ്പം I make the conscious effort to make myself feel more secure. And I think everyone should do that. Whether it's taking the necessary task, ഞാൻ ആദ്യം പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ going on a social media detox as to who you don't want to follow, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ doing some kind of journaling, you must do that. I don't think it's right to just blame beauty standards all the time. ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ കണ്ടുവരുന്ന ഒരു ഫിനോമിന just to blame beauty standards. See, you must take care of yourself. That is your responsibility.
Yeah.
But of course, that being said, it's changing. Fashion is changing. നമ്മളിപ്പം പുറത്തൊക്കെ പാരീസ് ഒക്കെ നോക്കിയാലും now many of the models are actually healthy. Pandaka, they were really lean, and then now there's actually a law in Paris that you have to weigh a certain weight. BMI should be correct. There's a lot of reforms. So the world is actually facilitating a lot of positive change, and I feel it's changing for the best.
I think like this body positivity movement or something. Then to contextually, I'll take that, but also there is a positive side to that. Karnationally, where again people have started to explore, something self and explore and തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ട് പരിചയമൊക്കെ.
Yeah, I think നമ്മള് കുറെ പേര് ഇപ്പം ചോദിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ട്, even to myself. Sometimes when girls and boys, when they dress up, they start asking themselves, do I need to do this or do I want to do this? Random, it's a huge difference,
Yeah.
Ideally, you should want to do something that you love. Someone shouldn't be controlling you. You should be in control of it. That our state of balance, all of us should try to achieve. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can also, ഞാനും ചിന്തിച്ചു തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതായത് ഇനീഷ്യലി കുറച്ച് മുന്നേക്ക് I used to think to be healthy അല്ലെങ്കിൽ to be fit is to look so and so way. I need to be in body, this abs, shoulders and all that. But now that perception has changed to being healthy.
Right.
I think our mindset, even to fashion, to mindset, എല്ലാത്തിലേക്കും
അതെ, yes.
Yeah. So simple question. How to look good?
Well, before going to what you can do to look good, say like styling and things, first thing is I am a person who gives a lot of importance to body language. Maybe because I'm a psychologist.
Okay.
I think through our body language, you can make someone dislike you in 2 seconds and like you in 2 seconds. So everything is available. I literally, I know people who go on the internet before their interviews and they read up 10 points about how to sit, how to keep their hands.
That's
and then they go that way. See, everything's available now. So I think time and if you're really interested in making an impression, read about some kind of positive body language, because whatever makeup that you do, and if I'm just say, I put a lot of makeup today, I'm dressed very well. If I'm just going to sit and slouch and do this or that, then no one's going to be interested. So എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ആദ്യം body language ആയിരിക്കും. Second thing would be try to be healthy as much as you can, and by that I mean eat healthy. And again, as of now, in the last few weeks, I've been binging on a little bit junk food. So something stinging me here. As much as possible, try to eat healthy food, work out. I think also apart from that, now, if you talk about the appearance, One thing namale eppo follow cheyanda to look good is, personally I feel like your clothes must suit your body. And by that what I mean is, if all of us have different body shapes. If I can't probably pull off something that Deepika Padukone pulls off, so I can pull off something that I can pull off, right? So first of all, dress according to your body type. Adu nammal manasilakanam. And that's true trial and error. See what looks good on your body. If you get compliments, then continue wearing that. Don't just blindly magazines know, okay, this might look good on me, so I'll buy it. Might not look good. Second thing is, very tiny tips all of these are, make sure your clothes are, steamed or ironed whenever you're heading out. And I think very trivial question, but such a difficult question to answer. Of course, smile, all of that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Try to have good thoughts. I think that if you have nalla thoughts, they have a nice positive aura, which will automatically attract people. So whatever you can do, if you can do some meditation or whatever on a daily basis, which can help you build a better personality or an aura, then maintain that. Yeah.
Very clever take actually. I was just reflecting on how I find someone attractive. I think aura, energy is a very important vibe. It's a very
vibe, exactly. Other vibe.
Yeah, and I think how I first observe yes, exactly, it is the vibe. Then we do a handshake and we get to know, okay, there is something when we talk, when we communicate in the first 5 minutes, we get to know, okay, this person is like, someone not like anyone else. There is something in that. That's great. So obviously, എനിക്ക് പേഴ്സണലി തോന്നിയിട്ടുണ്ട്, സപ്പോസ് ഇൻ ദ സെൻസ്, ഓക്കെ, സപ്പോസ് ലെറ്റ്സ് സേ യു ഗുഡ് അറ്റ് സംതിങ്, ഓക്കെ, നമ്മൾ ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കലി വേറെ ആളെ കാണുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ചിന്തിക്കും, or we kind of be a bit judgmental എന്ന് പറയാറുണ്ട്, or I felt that. Okay, so how do you, like, I don't know whether you are such a person, okay, and how do you work on not being judgmental, not judge others, like
everyone is judgmental, because നമ്മളൊക്കെ മനസ്സിൽ ഓൾറെഡി ഉണ്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു വ്യക്തി ഇങ്ങനെ ചെയ്താൽ അവരിങ്ങനെയാണ്, if they look a certain way അവരിങ്ങനെയാണ്. So the first thing that you do is challenge that thought that you're having. So say I am judging someone, I'm thinking about it, or I'm talking to someone about it, about so and so. Then the first thing that I would do is ആദ്യം നമ്മളെന്നെ introspect ചെയ്യുക, what is that made you feel that way. Try to challenge that thought that you have, that if a person does this, they are like that. If a person dresses like this, they are like this. Second thing is be a little bit more empathetic. I think that's something the world really needs now. That we really need, that each one of us, and I'm not talking about like war-like situations, even in daily life, we really need to be more empathetic, because sometimes I think ever since I started practicing, I think ever since I took up psychology, I've understood that you really don't know what another person is going through. They can be going through really, really ugly stuff, wherever they are, at home or at work or school, wherever. So try and be empathetic whenever you can with the other person. Third thing is to be accepting. And this is even very difficult, because and I'm not talking about just dressing over here. I'm judgmental. People often say, at least in our country or in our state, people are judgmental towards women. It's about dressing. It's not about that. It's even about the tiniest things. If a person looks a certain way, you can be judgmental. So try and be accepting that you're not the only person in this world. There are people, millions of people, and everyone's different, just like you. So try and be accepting of the fact that everyone will have their differences. That's completely natural. But I think the prime point is to be empathetic. That's something that it's extremely difficult, to be honest, sometimes, because we are human beings and not robots. So, but whenever you can, show a little bit of empathy. Try to understand where they're coming from.
How to practice empathy? I don't know. Couple of people, who are psychologists, have been on the show before, but I've not asked this. So, just taking this moment and asking, how to be more empathetic. as a person?
I think the first thing is to understand that you really don't know. Tell yourself that you might be seeing something, but you really don't know the person too much to judge them. Telling yourself that, Adnanda, that you really don't, like I mentioned earlier, you really don't know where they're coming from. Of course, from a psychologist's point of view, we have a lot of techniques and things, but something that you can practice very, very basic in an everyday basis is that every time you are you are having bad thoughts about something or someone, in a sense which is judgmental, try to tell yourself that you really don't know them well enough to judge them. Maybe that can help in building a little bit more empathy.
Okay. Yeah, that's very powerful. So, next, obviously, everything has two sides, right? When we say about beauty, there is this glamorous side. What's on the other side? And how does it look like?
Let me tell you, before this, I enjoyed every bit of it. പക്ഷേ, like you mentioned, എല്ലാത്തിനും രണ്ട് side ഉണ്ട്. And for me, it was the as much as sudden attention was gratifying, I never had so many cameras around me growing up. In fact, I'm from Bangalore. So how much Miss Kerala is a big deal. Kerala, it's a huge deal. In Bangalore, no one really bothered much about pageants. Everyone they're too busy. So I was never involved in modeling, or Agapad and I camera was when I was giving a stage performance, and there's one camera in front of the stage, and you can barely see that camera also because it's dark. You can't even see the audience and the cameraman. So it's just you on the stage. I think as much as the attention was very gratifying, I didn't have a problem with staying grounded, but then it was like a sudden invasion of space for me, especially on social media. Because Miss Kerala I had a private account. I had just a bunch of my close followers. That's it. Never really got any message requests. I was just happy doing my thing. Whenever I felt like it, I was a dance video. I think after that, I had to be conscious about everything that I put. And I remember even now, posts I was with my friends and I was like, what if someone thinks? It's not even about the appearance. It's about, okay, what if someone thinks like that, then like this, then they were like, please just calm down and put it. But that's a responsibility and you have to live up to that. I think that was the first difficulty, as in the sudden shock in terms of attention received in numbers was a huge shock. And second was definitely, Miss Kerala, I got a lot of modeling offers. And modeling all I used to see was on magazines, the glamorous models on social media. Professional shoot after Miss Kerala was Vanita. That's when I realized, and don't kid me, I have immense respect for not just the models, the makeup artists, the hairstylists, everybody on the team. We had almost shoot, I think we had about 5 to 6 changes. Photos are adiboliyavu. I get goosebumps, because my first professional shoot. It's so, you have to be really hardworking. And in fact, I was talking to my makeup artist there. And it's so nice. I shoot change. I was really exhausted. They were still, like touching up, so passionate towards their work. And he was telling me, you're just doing 6 changes. In a model, she had to do 30 changes. Can you imagine it? So 30 changes.
In a day?
Yes, in a day. She had to do 30 changes. It was for some fashion show, I think. I was thinking, see, it's glamorous, it's extremely glamorous, but I think sustain there's a lot of hard work that's required, because Miss Kerala got me those opportunities, but to sustain, that is, I had to prove myself. And proving myself only came with working really long hours. And I couldn't, be snobby. I couldn't say, I'm Miss Kerala. I can't do that because people there are far more experienced than you. A pageant is nothing in front of the experience that they have. So I think those are the two main flip side നോക്കിയാൽ ഒന്ന് was the sudden lash of attention. Second one was the flip side of glamour world.
Okay, so ഈ ഒരു ലോങ് ഷൂട്ട്സ് ആൻഡ് ഹാർഡ് വർക്കിംഗ് എന്നതൊക്കെ വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് at any point you felt that okay, my health is being compromised?
I did, to be honest, because ഞാൻ ഒരു ടൈമിൽ I was traveling a lot, and I was traveling a lot because I'm based off Bangalore. It was getting a little bit straining for me. I had to manage college also, and everyone was supportive. Even വീട്ടിലായാലും കോളേജിലായാലും everyone was supportive. But then it was like on a weekly basis. I was traveling to Cochin or some other place, or I had to judge some show. It was getting really hectic to a point where I would kind of I think I was so fatigued that I needed a break from everything, and I would just lie on my bed maybe for 2 days. That point when you're really, really physically exhausted. So I think at that point, and I need a break for a while, and luckily I had the space to take that. I was lucky enough to take that break for a while.
അടിപൊളി. So ഞാൻ ആദ്യം ചോദിച്ചൊരു ചോദ്യമുണ്ട്, like being എന്താ പറയാ Miss Kerala or like winning a pageant is not just about looking good externally. അത് having something internally and being brainy is also one thing. So working on the intellectual side, can you just talk more on that, how you work on that?
On the intellectual side,
yeah.
See, pageants I think പലപ്പോഴും ആൾക്കാർ പറയാനുണ്ട് you should be yourself. You should be yourself. But I think you should try to be, or you should aim to be the best version of yourself. Appo nammal present aim shouldn't be yourself, because yourself, what I was before November or before Miss Kerala had a lot of flaws. Even now there are a lot of flaws, but there were places where I could improve. So nammal oru pageant il pogumbom you should try to be the best version of yourself. And intellectually നോക്കിയാൽ I think definitely general knowledge plays a huge factor. നമ്മൾ എന്തായാലും ഇതിപ്പം പാജന്റ് ആവണമെന്നില്ല. Even if you're a citizen of a country, you need to know what is happening in the country. It's not about pageants. Please, people tell me, ask me, ipo thanne Miss Kerala applications are out for 2022. They're asking me, Chechi, ella ദിവസം paper വായിച്ചാ മതിയോ? It's irrelevant of pageant and whatever it is. You really need to be aware of things that are happening. And അത് വേറൊരു പവർ തന്നെയാണ് കേട്ടോ. When you know, if you can ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ പറയാ, I have certain science fiction interests, and the fact that you can have a conversation with someone with your knowledge is a huge sense of confidence, at least for me. So അത് നമ്മൾ retain ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കണം. And the second thing I feel is that definitely intellectually, before you go to a pageant, or at least because pageant, there's a lot of mistakes that I did. ഞാൻ പാജന്റിന് മുമ്പിൽ I didn't prepare at an intellectual level much, and I'm not saying general knowledge, but being aware of myself. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞില്ലേ മുമ്പ്. Thing is, നമ്മുടെ പാജന്റിന്റെ ഇടയിൽ അതിനൊന്നും സമയം ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. You won't have time to journal, because അകപ്പാട്ട് കിട്ടുന്ന 3 മണിക്കൂർ സ്ലീപ്പ് ആയിരിക്കും. You just want to sleep then, honestly. So before you go for a pageant, make sure people will ask you why you're there. Make sure you have a solid reason. It can be anything. If it doesn't have to always be that you want to do something for the society. If you have a dream to get into the, if you have a dream to get into the industry, the entertainment industry, then make sure you know that. Endina pageant nu pone arayanam, whatever it is. So nammal oru pageant nu pona mumbile those things you should be clear of. Why you're going for the pageant, and the strengths and the weaknesses endana, how can I work on my strengths at an intellectual level, and of course equipping oneself with general knowledge and all of that. And I would always suggest read as much as books as you can, because I love reading books. ഞാൻ അത്ര ഡീപ്പ് ബുക്സ് ഒന്നും വായിക്കാറില്ല. I usually just read fiction by Enid Blyton or something. But whatever book it is that you're reading, you will pick up on something. നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ബുക്ക് വായിച്ചാൽ, even if it is some അമർചിത്ര കഥ, so you will pick up on something. അപ്പൊ ബുക്ക് വായിക്കണം വെച്ചാൽ it shouldn't be you should go and read Paulo Coelho today or something. Whatever interests you, just read that. Not for the pageant, but generally it'll open your mind to a lot of ideas. And I think ഒരു pageant പോകുമ്പം last and most important thing is that you should really be mentally prepared. It's a little bit different from intellectual, but mentally ഭയങ്കര prepared ആയിരിക്കണം. And this is not about winning. It is about you can't just have an emotional breakdown one day of the pageant, because the show goes on. You have a 7 days training. നമ്മള് ഒരു ദിവസം അത് I'm feeling homesick, അത് ഇത് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് കരഞ്ഞാല് your co-contestants are just going to go ahead. So make sure that നമ്മൾ pageant പോകുന്ന മുമ്പിൽ you are really mentally strong enough and prepared to. I'm not trying to say that it's a war zone. Nobody should feel that way. It's a very, very inclusive place. Sure, there are stressors. നമ്മുടെ ഡെയിലി ലൈഫിലാണെങ്കിൽ എത്രയോ സ്ട്രെസ്സേഴ്സ് ഇല്ല, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അവിടെയും ഉണ്ട്. So you should be mentally prepared for it.
Okay, anyway, so I think that is for both like Miss Kerala and Mr. Kerala, or like
definitely,
anyone.
Definitely.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so also one simple question before I ask the last question. 3 of your favorite books? Any 3 favorite books?
Yeah. I really like Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini. I also like all Famous Five books. I can't choose. Every single Famous Five books. And I also like, I really liked Amar Chitra Kathas. ചെറുപ്പത്തിലുണ്ടായിട്ടില്ല, it was very thin, ഒരു പിക്ചേഴ്സ് ഒക്കെ ഉള്ള, so കുറെ ഇഷ്യൂസ് കിട്ടില്ലായിരുന്നു. So I really liked those. I know it's not very deep books, but even now I go back to my Enlightened itself. On a sad day I will go back there.
That's nice. So one last question. എല്ലാവരോടും ചോദിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ചോദ്യമാണ്, and I think this is one thing that helped me a lot and others as well. That is like, suppose let's say ഗോപികയുടെ മുന്നിൽ all around 7-8 billion people, എല്ലാ ആൾക്കാരും ഉണ്ട്, and you have a stage, you have a mic, and you are asked to say ഇതുവരേക്കും ഗോപിക മനസ്സിലാക്കിയിട്ടുള്ള പഠിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള 3 of the life lessons or biggest lessons you have learned. What is that?
Wow. People ask me these kind of questions, and I'm not that old also. I haven't learned. Yeah, when I was going for interviews also, they used to ask me these kind of things. I'm not that old also. But yeah, definitely the first one is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I think I am living proof of that. Whether it's dance, even if it's my career, even if it's Miss Kerala, I don't think I was born a dancer. I don't think I was born a model. I was a very, very average child in school, extremely average. And I really had to pull up my socks and give it my all. And I think our Miss Kerala pageant, there were so many girls who could have won. But I think it was purely my hard work that gave me a chance. Second thing would be stay where your roots are. I'm a very grounded person. My upbringing was like that. Every time കുറച്ചെങ്കിലും arrogance ഉണ്ടായില്ല, അപ്പൊ തന്നെ അടിച്ചു താത്തുന്ന ആൾക്കാരാണ് my parents. So ചെറുപ്പം മുതലേ അങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു. Even now to get a compliment from my mom is so difficult. Have you experienced that, to get a compliment? അമ്മേനെ കഴിഞ്ഞ ഒരു കോംപ്ലിമെന്റ് കിട്ടാൻ it's so difficult. So but that helped in some way. I think maybe അതുകൊണ്ടായിരിക്കും പെട്ടെന്ന് ഒരു ദിവസം my life changed overnight, and at least in a sense it didn't get to my head, and I know that will never happen because I that's where my upbringing is. And third thing would be, honestly, I don't have a third thing. That's it. Just 2 things that hopefully I learn a lot of things. Future le iniyum kore kudi padikette, but right for now, for the past 23 years, I think 2 things I've learned. Adu athra undayillu.
Okay, annual. Okay, so I think that's it from my side. But if I ask to ask something, what is what is that one question that you wish that I asked you?
Well, you've asked me several relevant questions in satyam parnattu iduvare chodikkatta questions okke choichittunde. I've been through several interviews, but you've been able to connect my career and Miss Kerala. So I think I wouldn't say actually I didn't want you to ask that question. Okay. But one question you missed out was, are you getting into movies? That's one question I kept hearing. Nannai adu
Okay.
chodikkatta nannai, because I keep hearing that question. So otherwise I loved all your questions. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I think that's all from my side. Thank you so much for being here. എനിക്കറിയാം കുറേ ആയി we have been planning this
Ade,
and
it's been so long. Yeah. My pleasure.
postponing and all. Yeah, but I think it was worth it. It was worth
Yeah,
it.
of
Thank you
course,
so
yes.
much.
I think,
Yeah.
and I think it's a good timing, because Rizwan and the contact the Samayat, it was the peak. I was really, I didn't know what was happening for a long time. Now we're doing this almost 6 to 7 months after the crowning, and think I have a better consolidation of all my thoughts. It's a better time to talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good.
I
time.
think that maybe that could be the reason why people make the most out of your time. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And hoping to see you soon to talk something else. Take
Sure.
care and wishing you all the success and
Sure.
all the blessings and all the
You
happiness.
too. You
Thank
too.
you so much.
Thank you.